Alrighty, folks, you know I'm feeling great on a Friday morning because we're now 5-0, my last 5 daily best plays on my premium page. It's a $1.99 for 30 days of service. It's my cheapest package, only costs 6 cents a day, and it is my hottest package right now. What else do you want from me? We had the Bo Sox minus 1.5 yesterday on the run line. And they shut out the Royals by the final of 2-0. Pablo Reyes and Adam Duvall, they had multi-hit games for the Red Sox yesterday. And once again, folks, we are now 5-0, my last 5 $1.99 daily best plays on my premium page. The link for that site is in the description section below. Now, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on YouTube and what I do on my premium page. Well, what I do here on YouTube is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side, and total. And what I do on my premium page is actually share with you which one of these free picks on these videos that are actually being featured as my premium selections. And I'll tell you what, if you want access to all of my personal premium selections, each and every one of them, you may want to think about signing up for my full access, all-inclusive chairman package. It gives you access to every single personal play of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, guys, you also get access to my chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. Now, I currently have over 540 members who are signed up and active on my website right now. And with that, folks, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to take a look at the Guardians at the Rays, 6:40 p.m. East. Tampa Bay's the $2 favorite, totals 8.5. Aaron Savali for the Rays, Xavier Curry for Cleveland. And as good as Curry's looked on the mound, and you guys know, I've been a big supporter of Curry. He's got some really good stuff. But unfortunately, the Guardians don't want to score for the guy. They took the loss in Curry's last 3 straight starts, and they averaged just 2.6 runs a game during that short time frame. Once again, run production, a problem when Curry makes the start. Now, no real shock here, guys. The Guardians have a bottom 5 run-producing lineup in the bigs. They're also going to have to face Aaron Savali here today with his new team, and he's got an overall ERA this year in the 2s. And even if he does struggle on the mound, the Rays do have little issue rounding the bases. These guys are a top 3 run-producing lineup in the American League. Now, this isn't Savali's first start with the Rays. It's not his debut, but he just joined the club, what was it, a week or 2 ago? So anyway, when it comes to offensive production, the Rays are a top 3 run-producing lineup in the American League. Yandy Diaz, he is the club leader in batting average and OPS. Wander Franco's got the most hits on the roster. Franco's also got a 5.3 wins above replacement average. Certainly valuable there. Now, the Rays have gone 60% to the under in their last 10. Meanwhile, the Guardians saw 8 out of their last 10 stay under the line themselves. Give me the Rays minus 1.5, under 8.5. Next matchup, Yankees-Marlins, 6:40 p.m. East. Miami's $1.40, totals 8.5. Jesus Luzardo for Miami, Randy Vasquez for New York. And as good as Vasquez has looked in limited action, he may have a tough time getting run support. Kind of a similar deal as the first game we just did. The Yankees are currently a bottom 3 hit-producing lineup in the American League. They're also facing Jesus Luzardo, who's done a nice job in his starts this season. The lefty's got 8 wins, 155 strikeouts, and an ERA in the 3s. And even if Luzardo stinks, the Marlins have had little issue getting base runners. They're a top 3 hit-producing lineup at home. Luis Ariz bats a league best .369 at the plate. Josh Bell is hitting .323 with his new ball club as well. 3 out of the Marlins' last 4 at Lone Depot Park fell under the total. They're also 8-2 to the under in their last 10 at any location. Give me Miami minus a $1.40, under 8.5. Next game, Reds Pirates, 7:05 Eastern start time. Cincinnati's minus a $1.15, totals 9. Andrew Abbott for Cincinnati, Johan Oviedo for Pittsburgh. Now, Ovi's just 6-11 on the year with an ERA in the 4s. These Pittsburgh Sluggers have also become a bottom 5 hit producing lineup. They got to face Andrew Abbott, who's looked real good this year. I rarely fade Abbott. The lefty's 6-3 this year with an ERA in the 2s. He's also averaging over a strikeout an inning, and he has a solid 1.15 whip. And even if Abbott struggles, the Reds have a little issue getting on base. These guys are in the top 5 in hits per game on the road. Spencer Steer's the club leader in hits. Matt McLain's got an OPS average nearly in the 900s. Benson's questionable. India and Fraley are still out. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh on the other side, Ji-Hwan Bae is still inactive for them. 5 out of Pittsburgh's last 6 at PNC Park got over the total. They're also 70% to the over in their last 10 at any location. Give me the Reds minus a $1.15, over 9. Next matchup, Twins Phillies, 7:05 Eastern first pitch. Philadelphia is a $1.55, totals 9.5. Chris Sanchez for Philadelphia, Dallas Keuchel for Minnesota. And following a solid season debut for Keuchel last week, you just got to be reminded of how good this Minnesota pitching staff has been. They actually lead the majors in strikeouts per 9. They also limit their competition to just 7.7 hits a game in their travels. They're actually in the top 3 in the bigs right now in fewest runs allowed per game on the road. They're facing a Philly lineup on the other side who's got a significant issue with strikeouts in the box. These guys are in the bottom 5 in the National League in strikeouts per 9 at the plate. They're averaging nearly double-digit strikeouts a game in that category. And when it comes to cashing in on the run line, the Phils are just 7-10 against the number in their interleague home. In their interleague home games. So let me try to drive that point home correctly without fumbling my words. The Phils are just 7-10 against the number in their interleague home games, and of course, that is in reference to the run line. Philadelphia is 61% to the under against American League opponents. Minnesota went 60% to the under in their last 10 themselves. Give me the Twins plus 1.5, under 9.5. All right, next matchup, A's Nationals, 7:05 Eastern first pitch. Both teams are minus a $1.10, pretty much a coin flip in this one, totals 9. Johan Adon for Washington, Paul Blackburn for Oakland. Now, Paulie Blackbeard's recorded only 2 wins in 60 innings of work. He's got an ERA in the 4s along with a 1.50 whip. The A's also have the worst record in baseball, and they score the fewest amount of runs. They're facing Johan Adon, who's done a solid job in a very short body of work. Out of 11 innings this year, the righties punched out 11 batters. And he also has a .73 whip. And believe it or not, folks, this is a Nationals lineup who can certainly hit the baseball. I don't know if a lot of you guys know that. These guys can hit. They get base runners. They're in the top 5 in the National League in hits per game. Lane Thomas has 130 hits on the season, 20 home runs for the outfielder. Meanwhile, C.J. Abrams, he has the second most runs scored on the team. 8 out of the Nats' last 10 ball games did fall under the number. Meanwhile, Oakland's gone 8-3 to the under in their Paul Blackburn starts. Give me the Nationals minus a $1.10, under 9. Next matchup, some more interleague action. Cubs, Blue Jays, 7:07 Eastern first pitch. Toronto's a $1.55, totals 9. Jose Barrios for Toronto, Javier Assad for Chicago. Assad's got an ERA of 3.35 through 53-plus innings. The Cubs have also won 6 out of their last 9. And they've had little issues scoring runs. They're actually in the top 5 in the bigs right now in runs per game. Nico Hoerner's the team leader in hits and RBI. Jeimer Candelario's hitting .485 through 9 games with the Cubbies. They're facing a Toronto team on the other side who does struggle at the plate in their own building. These guys are a bottom 5 run producing lineup in the American League at home. As a matter of fact, guys, out of their last 4 contests this week, the Jays scored a total of just 7 runs. 8 out of the Jays' last 10 outings did fall under the total. They're also 12-3 to the under in their interleague home games. Give me the Cubs plus 1.5, under 9. Next contest, Braves, Mets, 7:10 p.m. East. Atlanta's minus $1.70, totals 9.5. Charlie Morton for Atlanta, Tyler McGill for New York. Now McGill's got an ERA of 5.45 along with a 1.68 whip. And even if he does throw well, the Mets just can't hit in Flushing, Queens. They're in the bottom 3 in the majors in hits per game at home. They're going up against 10-win Charlie Morton, who's got 132 strikeouts and an ERA in the 3s. Charlie's also backed by a top 3 run-producing lineup on the road. Ronald Acuna is in the top 3 in both batting average and OPS. He also leads the league in stolen bases, and he's got a staggering wins above replacement average of 5.9. Meanwhile, Matt Olson leads the major leagues in homers and RBI. 6 out of Atlanta's last 7 road games did get over the total. They also averaged 6 runs a game in their last 10 meetings with New York. So if you're into historical trends, certainly want to think about that one there. Give me Atlanta minus $1.70, over 9.5. Next game, Tigers, Bo Sox, 7:10 Eastern first pitch. Boston's $1.55, totals 9. Chris Sale for Boston, Tarek Skubal for Detroit. And even though Scoobs has looked good in limited action, the Tigers just don't hit well. These guys are averaging under 7.6 hits a game in their travels. And no real shock here, guys. Detroit's a bottom 3 run-producing team. They're going to have to face Chris Sale, who's got 71 strikeouts in just 59 innings. During that time frame, the lefty's got a 1.19 whip. He's actually recorded only 2 losses. At the plate, the Bo Sox just love hitting at Fenway. They're averaging just about double-digit hits a game in front of their own crowd. Masataka Yoshida, he's got a lot of those hits. He's actually the club leader in hits. Meanwhile, Rafi Devers is in the top 10 in both home runs and RBI. 5 out of Boston's last 7 at Fenway did stay under the line. They also held Detroit to just 3.8 runs a game in their last 10 head-to-head meetings. And no real surprise here, folks. The under cashed in 70% of those 10 head-to-head meetings I just mentioned. So once again, if you're into historical trends, plenty of unders to go around. Give me Boston minus 155, under 9. Next matchup, Angels, Astros, 8:10 Eastern first pitch. Houston's the $2 favorite, totals 8.5. Justin Verlander for Houston, Reed Detmers for Los Angeles. And despite some really bad numbers out of Detmers, the lefty, he can still throw some gas. He comes into today's contest with 131 strikeouts on the season, well over a strikeout an inning he's averaging. The Angels also won their last 2 straight. They scored 11 total runs in those victories. And don't forget, guys, this is still a top 3 hit-producing lineup on the road. Shohei Ohtani leads the American League in home runs, OPS in the thousands as well for Show. Meanwhile, Mickey Moniak's hitting an even 300 with an OPS close to 900. They're facing a Houston club on the other side who really doesn't hit all that great at Minute Maid Park. Actually, a bottom 10 hit-producing lineup on their own diamond. When it comes to cashing in on the run line, these guys are just 7-10 against the number in their divisional home games. 6 out of Houston's last 10 gatherings with the Angels did get over the total. So once again, historical trends, plenty of overs to go around. Meanwhile, LA's gone 10-4 to the over in their divisional road games. Give me the Angels plus 1.5, over 8.5. Next ball game, Brewers, White Sox, 8:10 Eastern start time. Milwaukee's $1.65, totals 8.5. Corbin Burns for Milwaukee, Michael Kopech for Chicago. And even though Kopech's having a down year, he still has little issue punching batters out. Kopech's got 112 strikeouts in just 107 plus innings. Meanwhile, as a team, the Chi Sox did get the W in 4 out of their last 5. They averaged over 6 runs a game in those victories. Andrew Benintendi, he's got 31 homers and an OPS nearly in the 900s. Andrew Vaughn's got the second most runs scored on the active roster. They're facing a Brewer club who plays just .500 baseball in their interleague road games. And out of Corbin's last 5 starts, these Brewer hitters averaged just 2.8 runs a game. They're actually in the bottom 3 in the National League right now in hits per contest. The Brewers are 60% to the under against American League competition this year. Meanwhile, Chicago saw 7 out of their last 10 ball games stay under the line themselves. Give me the White Sox plus 1.5, under 8.5. Next ball game, Cards, Royals, 8:10 Eastern first pitch. Now both teams are minus $110, pretty much a coin flip in this one. Totals 10.5. Dylan Coleman for Kansas City, Adam Wainwright for St. Louis. And as bad as Waino's been, well, the Cards did score 15 total runs in his last 3 starts, so they do score some runs for him. This does look like a pretty good spot for him to pick up a rare win here this year. And don't let that record fool you. The Redbirds are still a top 10 hit producing lineup. Nolan Arenado's got 81 RBI on the season. He's actually tied for 6th in the big leagues in that category. Meanwhile, Paul Goldschmidt's the team leader in hits. They're facing Dylan Coleman, who's got an ERA in the 10s in just 14 plus innings of work. The Royals are also one of the worst scoring teams in the game at the plate. They're averaging fewer runs per contest than any other franchise besides Oakland. Now, the Cardinals went 7-3 to the under in their last 10 ball games. They're also 12-6 to the under in their interleague road games. Give me the Cardinals minus $110, under 10.5. Next matchup, a little NL West action. Padres, Diamondbacks, 9:40 p.m. East. San Diego's $155, totals 9. Blake Snell for San Diego, Ryan Nelson for Arizona. And as much as I want to back Arizona here for some reason, I don't overly trust Ryan Nelson or the D-backs for that matter. The D-backs are on an 8-game skid right now, and Nelson's got an ERA in the 5s along with a 1.43 whip. Did you leave and come back already?
No.
Oh, you didn't leave yet? Okay.
I was pumping the tires up.
I was going to say, you left and came back, and I'm still doing the same video. Anyway, I'm talking about the Diamondbacks.
Oh.
They lost their last 8 straight.
Well, that's bull.
Yeah, they're like 3-16 since the All-Star break. Can you believe that?
No, I can't. They're
Yeah.
better than that.
I don't think they are better than that. I don't know. They were better than that in the first half of the season. They were right in the wild card, contention. Now they choked. But anyway, the D-backs, like I just told my beautiful wife, who's not wearing a bra right now, I'm really turned on.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm not walking around shirtless.
She's not walking around shirtless. She's just wearing my college football shirt with no bra. It's very attractive.
Very attractive, changing the oil.
I'm turned on. Just changed the oil in the Jeep. I'm telling you, man. I'm really, It's good to be married to that lady. Anyway, the D-backs, 8-game skid. Nelson's got an ERA in the 5s, along with a 1.43 whip. And, of course, these Arizona pitchers, they've struggled at times, most of the time, really, at Chase Field. They're in the bottom 10 in the hits allowed per game at home. They're facing a Padres team who's pretty patient at the plate despite their low run production. These guys are actually walking 4.1 times a game on the road. They're also one of the lowest strikeout teams on the road in the National League. Juan Soto's been walked 99 times this season. He's actually currently in the top 10 in the bigs in OPS average. Meanwhile, Ha-Sung Kim leads the roster in stolen bases, and he's got a wins above replacement average of 5.9. And even if the Padres can't score much, they're probably not going to need a whole lot of runs. They're probably going to need about 3 runs to win the game. because they got starting pitcher Blake Snell. He's got 164 strikeouts this year and a stingy ERA of 2.61. Now, 4 out of the Pods' last 5 road games did fall under the total. Meanwhile, Arizona went 9-1 at the under in their last 10. Give me the Padres minus $1.55, under 9. All right, next matchup. O's Mariners, 10-10 Eastern first pitch. Seattle's $1.40 at home, totals 8 runs. Luis Castillo for Seattle, Kyle Gibson for Baltimore. And despite a lackluster ERA, Gibby continues to win for the O's. He's 11-6 on the year with 117 strikeouts. And in his last 6 starts, the O's got the W 5 times. He actually scored 39 total runs during that time frame. Adley Rutschman's the team leader in hits. Ryan O'Hearn's batting .301. And even though Luis Castillo's been solid for the Mariners, I just don't trust their hitters to get the job done here. They're averaging just 7.6 hits a game in their own building. They're actually a bottom 5 hit-producing lineup at home. Hey, did you know that Adley Rutschman was a punter in college?
Who?
Adley Rutschman.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you know Adley Rutschman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course I did.
he was in the home run derby. Plays for the Orioles. Do you know where the Orioles, what city they're out of?
I don't think it's right, but I want to say New Orleans.
New Orleans?
That's not right.
Not even close.
Los Angeles?
No, you're getting worse.
I don't know.
Baltimore. Yeah, Adley Rutschman
Baseball's
plays.
not my thing, you know?
Yeah, well, you're an expert NFL handicapper, right? Yeah, you never miss a game in the NFL. You wait till we might have to bust out a package for you in the NFL. We'll sell it for $300 a month.
Sounds good.
Anyway, who are we talking about? Oh, the O's, yeah. The O's and Adley Rutschman. Anyway, when it comes to the total, real quick, I also got to add here, Seattle's a bottom 5 hit-producing lineup at home, so they haven't been getting a whole lot of base runners in their own building. The M's went 60% to the under in their last 10. Meanwhile, Baltimore saw 3 out of their last 4 on the road stay under the total. Give me Baltimore plus 1.5, under 8. Sorry about all the sidebar commentary from me, guys. Of course, my wife's very attractive, and like I said, when she's walking around here, I get pretty distracted easily. All right, next matchup. Rockies, Dodgers, 10-10 Eastern first pitch. The Dodgers are minus 205, totals 9. Lance Lynn for the Dodgers, Austin Gomber for Colorado. Now, Gomber's got an ERA in the 5s along with a 1.44 whip. These Colorado pitchers have consistently struggled this year. They're allowing 9.7 hits a game, worst in the National League. Now, they're facing a Dodger team who walks a lot and scores a lot. These guys are a top 3 run-producing lineup. Freddie Freeman's got the highest OPS average in the National League. Second highest batting average in the entire league as well. Mookie Betts has walked 68 times. He has an OPS of 960. Now, Lance Lynn has definitely looked good in Dodger blue this year. He's got an ERA in the 2s after 13 innings of work with his new team. The righty's also averaging a strikeout an inning, and he has a .92 whip with Los Angeles. 3 out of LA's last 4 at Dodger Stadium stayed under the total. They're also 7-3 to the under in their last 10 at any location. Meanwhile, Colorado saw 4 out of their last 7 away from Denver stay under the line. Give me the Dodgers minus 1.5, under 9 runs. With that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. It's going to be in that Rangers-Giants game, 10:15 Eastern first pitch. Texas is minus $1.15, totals 8.5. John Gray for Texas, Scott Alexander for San Francisco. Alexander has an ERA in the 4s, and the Giants really haven't scored much for the lefty. They average just 2.7 runs a game in his last 4 starts. The Giants have also had a tough time producing runs at Chase Field. These guys are dead last in the National League right now in run production on their own field. They're taking on John Gray, who's got a winning record on the year and an ERA in the threes. Now, these Ranger hitters can also score with the best of them. They're the league leaders right now in runs and hits per game. Adolis Garcia's got the most RBI in the American League. Marcus Semion's the team leader in hits. Now, the Rangers' last 4 straight on the road did stay under the total. Meanwhile, the Giants saw their last 5 straight in front of their own fans stay under the line. Give me the Rangers minus $1.15, under 8.5. And with that, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Give me the Rays minus 1.5, under 8.5 runs. Marlins minus 140, under 8.5. Reds minus $1.15, over 9. I'm 5-0. My last $5.99 daily best plays on my premium page. The link for my premium page is in my bio. Minnesota Twins plus 1.5, under 9.5. Nationals minus $1.10, under 9. Cubbies plus 1.5, under 9. Atlanta Braves minus 170, over 9.5. Red Sox minus 155, under 9 runs. Angels plus 1.5, over 8.5. White Sox plus 1.5, under 8.5. Cardinals minus $1.10, under 10.5 runs. Padres minus 155, under 9. Orioles plus 1.5, under 8. Dodgers minus 1.5, under 9. With my next and final free pick, give me the Rangers minus $1.15, under 8.5. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my website. Now, if you guys do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, guys, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that Chairman package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. It gives you access to every single personal play of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, guys, you also get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. But most importantly, folks, gotta thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, folks, happy Friday to you. Best of luck to you. I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.